I posted 2 separate videos earlier this year evolving around batteries and chargers, and I just wanted to do a follow-up video just to sort of correct and update on some learnings since those tests. Earlier this year, I actually tested 3 Sony NP-FZ100 batteries, one of which was the official Sony battery, 2 of them were from K&F. One of them was actually the one with the USB-C charging port directly on the battery itself. I believe all 3 of them are around 2,280 milliamp hours. So I wanted to test to see how they would perform against each other. The Sony battery actually did outperform the 2 K&F batteries, but not by much. Given the fact that the K&F batteries are way cheaper than the Sony batteries, I was actually really impressed by their performance. After I posted that test, I actually realized afterwards through the comment sections as well, there's actually a different battery out there available also, which is the 2,600 milliamp battery. And I actually did own that one. And it's the one that usually sits on my A7C II here as my main camera. But because I just leave it in the camera plugged in, I forgot I had it. So I did actually want to do a follow-up test on that battery, but I also just didn't think it was worth doing a whole new video on it. So I just posted it as a YouTube short, but the results came back very strange. During that test, the 2,600 milliamp battery only lasted 1 hour and 21 minutes. And that's actually a shocking result considering the fact that it's the highest capacity battery. Despite the results being way off from what I would have expected, I still posted the results anyway. And I discussed it with someone else in the comment section, and we were both basically just saying that it does seem a bit strange that the results are so wildly different. The assumption for me on that part though was that I leave it connected to my Sony A7C II, always connected into a USB-C charger, and it's been there for about a year, so maybe that the battery had been drained and dying out and overcharged, and it's just getting weaker over time. So at this point, I ordered a brand new battery from Amazon. Now in this third test, to keep it fair, I tested the 2,600 milliamp battery that I owned against the brand new one. And I also included a Sony NP-FZ100 battery, one that I consider like one of my oldest batteries. And how I know this is that I mark it with a sticker. Each battery that has a sticker on it is one that I use more or less day in and day out and has been used for the past at least 4 years. And now the results of this test still shows that the Sony outperformed the K&F batteries. The brand new batteries still basically perform the same as the last test. And in this specific test, my own battery, the one that I had been using for the past year, was about 3 minutes less than the last time I tested it. That could be down to a multitude of different reasons, and I'm just not really going to pay too much attention to that 3-minute difference. But ultimately speaking, I would say on average that the K&F battery, 2,600 milliamp battery, lasted about 1 hour and 20 minutes shooting at 4K 10-bit 422. So overall, my conclusion in this video is just a simple fact that if you are going to be buying a third-party battery, I wouldn't even bother looking at the higher capacity one because you're not getting more performance out of it. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this battery, but if I had the choice moving forward, I won't purchase the 2,600 milliamp battery. For me personally, it's serving me perfectly fine as a sort of dummy battery for my A7C II, but moving forward, I won't recommend that specific battery. I would recommend the other 2 K&F batteries, and I'll leave the links down below in the description. And the second video I want to address was regarding the Tilta battery charger. Regarding the Tilta battery charger, someone commented and basically saying that I missed a part of the test where, although that the LEDs show green, they don't actually reach 100%. That seemed a bit strange to me, and I don't recall having any issues with my unit when I was testing it. So I figured I would just do the test again. So I drained the battery fully down completely. And as you can see, it's still charging at the moment on one of the batteries, but 3 of them are now highlighted in green. So if I was just to quickly show you now. Oh, and ironically, it is now just literally hit green. So there's this one over here. Putting the battery in. I don't know if you can see that, but it has in fact hit 100%. We had a little bit of a discussion back and forth, and he basically said it was actually even within the documentations where it says that when it goes green, it's between 90 and 100%, which may be the case. But just from my personal experience, whenever I've taken it out at green, it's been at 100%. It's not a charger that I use day to day, admittedly, because I spent much more money on the UPO chargers and I have a few of those. Those are my day to day. But with this Tilta charger, I kind of mostly just use it as a battery holder, and I have charged it a few times on it, but it's not something that I've noticed where there's been a problem. It may be a situation where the lights turn green maybe after a couple of hours and they all reach 90 to 100% within that. But then if you leave it a little bit longer, it trickle charges and reaches 100% over time. And maybe because I haven't noticed a problem in the past is because I just leave it charged in and maybe leave it overnight. And then I wake up in the morning to fully charged batteries. But in this specific test though, I didn't do that. As you can see, the LED just literally turned from amber to green, and then I checked it out and it was 100%. Whenever I'm testing and reviewing things, I can only ever speak on my personal experiences with it. In my personal experience, I've had no issues. It may not be a perfect device, and there may be a situation where I might find at a later date it only charges to 90% when it hits green. But even if that were the case, it's not the biggest problem for me. 90% is still a healthy amount of charge. And if I am desperate for the additional 10%, I'll just leave it charging a little bit longer. But from my experience, whenever it has hit green, it's hit 100%. But by all means, if you have bought this charger, leave your results down in the comment section below. It'll be good for other people to see your experiences as well, not only just mine. And it's also good for me to see as well. But nonetheless, that's it from me. Cheers for watching.